Alrighty then. What is going on, everyone? Happy Monday, October 14th, 2024. And welcome back to another edition of our stay-at-home open mic presented by the Barbed Open Mic series here in El Paso, Texas. My name is Richie David Marrufo. I'll be your MC and host for the day. And if you guys are tuning in, well, let us know in the chat. I already see that we got Camilla here. Welcome. Great to see you. I see that you're here from EPCC. Awesome. Stick around. I'm going to give you directions on what you need to do. But first, again, if this is your first time here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. This is our little place on the internet on Monday nights, Mountain Time, when we get to welcome people from all over the region, from all over the world, and join us in this little virtual open mic that we've been doing since April of 2020. It's like any other open mic. If you want to perform, all you have to do is sign up, and we welcome poetry, prose, original prose, covers of those things, because as Kit likes to say, if musicians can do covers, so can poets, so can writers, and I think it's a really cool way to introduce works to new people. I definitely enjoy the cover poems that many of our regulars choose. But of course, it is also open to singer-songwriters. So if you like to sing, if you play an instrument, if you're an instrumentalist, or if you combine the two and sing and play an instrument, then join us. If you are a lyricist, if you like to beatbox, if you like to freestyle, we welcome it all. In fact, in the past, I've encouraged if anyone is a dancer, we welcome all the performing arts for the most part. But yeah, it'd be cool, honestly, the limit is your imagination. So if you guys have an idea, sign up. If you ever want to join us, we're here every Monday, and the link to sign up is in the description of each video. But you can also follow us on social media, Barbed Open Mic Series. Other than that, this is a platform, so we definitely encourage you to check out and follow and support all the performers who jump on today. I'm gonna encourage everyone to share their social media pages, links to purchase books or merchandise, or even just like YouTube channels where you can go and keep up to date with all this cool stuff they have going on. Uh, what's going on in the world of BWOMS? Well, really quick, just some announcements. This week we do have we're going to be back downtown at Mona Bar for our Tuesday night open mic, and that one is an all genre show. Sign up starts at 8. Show starts after 9. It is a late show, so you have that kind of stamina, come on by. I usually host that one, but I'm taking on apprentices and people who are interested in learning more about running open mics, any type of the craft, any part of the craft. Be on the lookout for volunteer forms pretty soon, but I'm definitely encouraging people to come on out to shadow me and experience different aspects of the show, from setting up, tearing down, audio, hosting, like how gear works, cool stuff like that. Yeah, thank you, Zach. Really appreciate that. Um, we do have. Hold on, I gotta look at the calendar because other than that, though, our next event after that, BWOMS wise, Las Cruces BWOMS, we're going to be having an event in Las Cruces. We are going to have an open mic at the Las Cruces Museum of Art from 6 to 8:30 p.m. I know that Lynn went to the workshop for that one, and we'll be reading. Again, that was based off of an ekphrastic workshop that we had done earlier that was led by our very own Liz Liano, aka the Lizard King. She's awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. But a couple other things, a couple literary things going on this week. Friday, our college, EPCC Chrysalis, is having their magazine release party at the Falstaff. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So contributors who are in the magazine are going to share their work. I will be emceeing and running sound. And if you want to learn more about that, you can follow epcc.chrysalis on Instagram, and or we'll post about it as well. Lastly, Lastly, Thursday night, I'm going to be a featured performer at International Bar with a live jazz band comprised of Billy Towns on keys, David Rodriguez on bass, and Eddie Provencio on drums. Those are some of the best jazz musicians in the city. It's an honor to play with them. I will be joined along with Fernando Antonio Montojano, aka King Grizz. And unfortunately, we had someone drop out, but we filled in with a singer, Kitty Monroe. That's her name. So be on the lookout for that. If you guys want to just enjoy like a night out on the town, enjoy some live music with a little bit of poetry accompanied with it. That is Thursday at International Bar, downtown El Paso from 9 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. All right. That's it for commercials. One last thing, if you are an EPCC student, what I'm asking you guys to do is stick around and watch as much of the show as you can. All right. We don't have too many performers, but what I want you to do is just listen in, enjoy the performances, then send me an email. I will send you the information a little later on in the show. That way, so you have to stick around a little bit. All right. But in the chat, I will eventually drop my email with instructions. But basically, just listen in. Who did you enjoy? What lines did you like? Like, what really stuck out to you, or like maybe you learned something, maybe you were able to relate to an aspect that was brought up. But the whole point in art is to share our human experiences or expand our human experience, and connect in several of those ways. So yeah, let me know. I'll keep you up to date with that. But alas, this is the part of the show where you hear me talk the most. I'm always happy to stop that part of the show and introduce our performers. Again, performers, you guys kind of know the rules, 5 to 7 minutes, more or less for your thing. Have fun, share your work. Don't apologize. All right. So without further ado, we're gonna kick things off in El Paso EP with the one and only Robin Schofield, who's always coming through both in person and online. It's always great to have you be part of this. Poet laureate of Tumblewords, not only a master gardener, but a master poet. All right, Robin, when you're ready to go and take it away.
Thanks, Richie. Thanks, everybody. Happy Monday to those who are here and to those in the future. Happy whatever day it is. And I'm going to do something I rarely do. I'm going to just read out of a notebook some new poems that I wrote at Tumblewords. And I wasn't sure what to expect because the workshop was it was something about Dungeons and Dragons, but I think it turned out it was very fairy tale-ish. So I think it turned out kind of spooky. I was a changeling child, part of the fairy folk. They didn't penalize me, but gave me second sight. It's been a terrible trouble all my life. Folk didn't believe me, a prophet with a dainty voice as a child, and now I'm a crone with a voice raspy as a crow's. I wrote the vision down when I was 7. That must have been the year of the carnival, a long time ago. A bird told me my name, true as the song within. I don't have any titles yet. Regrets about the past? Oh, I don't have any. Well, maybe just one. Oh, yeah, a big one. Or two, perhaps. Maybe there are several. Anyway, not many, you see. A blighted woodland destroyed by fire where even the deer are bewildered and the grasshoppers have turned black to match the charred land. What stirs in this land? Fireweed first. New growth hurts, says the hag. It always has. Look closely and you'll see the tiny green buds on the still living trees. Some seeds only sprout after a fire. There are no terms I can accept that will make a difference at this point. The hag and I weep together, and some of her tears fall on me and scald my arm. My tears fall on the hag's arm and freeze her ancient skin. Burn and freeze, freeze and burn. The hag and I hug, but I can't break her grasp on me. She is laughing and heaving, and I'm struggling for breath and use my last breath to shout, I haven't accepted your terms on any deals. And she shouts back, every day that you live is on my terms. So, yay, Lee. She did a great workshop. I mean, they did a great workshop, and it was my introduction to Dungeons and Dragons, I guess. And now, in honor of Indigenous Peoples Day, I want to read a poem out of An American Sunrise by Joy Harjo. It's called Honoring. Who sings to the plants that are grown for our plates? Are they gathered lovingly in aprons or arms? Or do they suffer the fate of the motor-driven whip of the monster reaper? No song at all, only the sound of money being stacked in a bank. Who stitched the seams in my clothes, one line after another? Was the room sweaty and dark, with no hour to spare? Did she have enough to eat? Did she have a home anywhere? Or did she live on the floor? And where were the children? Or was the seamstress the child with no home of his or her own? Who sacrifices to make clothes for strangers of another country? And why? Let's remember to thank the grower of food, the picker, the driver, the sun and the rain. Let's remember to thank each maker of stitch and layer of pattern, the dyer of color in the immense house of beauty and pain. Let's honor the maker. Let's honor what's made. Joy Harjo, everybody. Back to you, Richie.
All right. Thank you, Robin. Appreciate that. And always check out Tumble Words. I heard great things about Lee's workshop and you know, hope to catch another one. Alrighty then. So we're gonna go ahead and continue onward. Yes, that's right. We're celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day. So if you guys have any cover poems to honor that, then definitely bring them out. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move a little bit north from here and join our friend Mike Sindler in Denver. That is right, Mike at the mic. I think of my friend Fernando, who's been doing a mic checks and asking, are there any mics in the audience? And one of these days, I want someone to be there, and be like, yeah, I'm Michael, and then his whole plan is ruined. But right now, we've got Michael Sindler. When you're ready, go and take it away. Happy Monday.
Yeah, happy Monday to you. Happy Monday to everybody out there. And I tell you, if listening to Robin just now isn't enough to make you want to go to Tumblewords, I don't know what is. That was fantastic, but it's great to be here as well. And just another little thing that's great that I'll put up here is lighthouseriders.org that I once again cannot recommend highly enough. Just all kinds of great classes and events and everything that why not just check it out. Richie, can I go ahead and use the picture share screen?
It's already there. Yeah, you got it.
Okay. This isn't the best. I just decided to do this at the last minute, so that's the best. But I also wanted to do Robin staring desperately at this. Great. But I wanted to do one. At least this is a picture that's in the American Museum of Western Art here in Denver. That's just a little jewel of a museum that nobody knows about. But this is called Song of the Crow to the Dying Pony. I am not a random crow. I am he that sings the story of your fate. I'm the final voice that you will hear. I am the song that on the wind blows. You are not a random being. You are left as tribute to the spirits. You were faithful companion to the departed. You will soon depart as well. I, the crow, will lament your passing. I will place you above the human. You were faithful until the end. He left you to suffer for his sin. And while that might not be the most super positive thing, it was one thing I was able to whip out at the last minute because I didn't think ahead well enough. I spent a little bit more of my day than I was comfortable with doing phone banking to get out the cause. And of course, I got a bunch of people who just unbelievable things. So I wanted to share this thing that I did way, 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 way back when, many years ago, about why it's important to think. It's called Tale of Two Steakhouses. Once there were two steakhouses. At one steakhouse, some of the regular customers asked the chef to prepare some vegan dishes so they could invite their vegan friends to dine with them. The chef did as they asked. The regulars were happy. The new customers were happy. The steakhouse flourished. Other restaurants caught on and added vegan choices. At the other steakhouse, the regulars did the same thing. But when the vegans came, they demanded the chef scrap the entire menu that had made the steakhouse successful. They threatened to boycott and slander the reputation of the steakhouse. They spit on the floor, cursed at the staff and customers. However, they did avail themselves of the facilities and mess with the table settings so that the staff would have to do more work for no extra compensation. The regulars who invited them were perplexed. Why did you accept our invitations if all you wanted to do is run down our favorite restaurant? The staff and customers begged them to chill out and enjoy the vegan dishes, as no one else on the block had gone to the trouble of accommodating them all. This did nothing to calm the vegans, so they had to be asked to leave. After being ejected from the steakhouse, were they in any way repentant for their vandalism and rudeness? Not at all. Instead, they torched the building with their old friends still inside. Then the wind caught the flames, and every restaurant in the area other than Chick-fil-A was burned to the ground, and no one lived happily ever after. The end. Happy now, kids? So that's something to think about as we go into this coming election. I did also want to do one to get us into the upcoming Halloween spirit. This is called Queen of Halloween. It's a true story. She was the queen of Halloween, bewitching in an emerald gown. She tapped me on the shoulder, pulled me to the dance floor where the sound swirled round. Bodies merged, time dissolved till we had danced the sacred night away. We waltzed out through candy wrapper-strewn streets, gambled to my door. I do not have to tell you anymore. Magic comes in many forms, some tricks, some treats, some moments so enchanting, nothing else can quite compete. And I guess it's time to put on the hat. And I did, like I say, this whole like feeling political kind of thing. Picked a couple poems. The first one's by Denise Levertov, a particular favorite. It's called Making Peace. A voice from the dark called out, the poets must give us imagination of peace to oust the intense, familiar imagination of disaster. Peace, not only the absence of war. But peace, like a poem, is not there ahead of itself, can't be imagined before it is made, can't be known except in the words of its making, grammar of justice, syntax of mutual aid. A feeling towards it, dimly sensing a rhythm, is all we have until we begin to utter its metaphors, learning them as we speak. A line of peace might appear if we restructured the sentence of our lives are making, revoked its reaffirmation of profit and power, questioned our needs, allowed long pauses. A cadence of peace might balance its weight on that different fulcrum. Peace, a presence, an energy field more intense than war, might pulse then. stanza by stanza into the world, each act of living one of its words, each word a vibration of light, facets of the forming crystal. And yeah, that's the kind of poem I'd like to be able to write. And so is this one. It's by another just absolute great poet of our times, Adrian Rich. And it's called What Kind of Times Are These? There's a place between two stands of trees where the grass grows uphill and the old revolutionary road breaks off into shadows near a meeting house abandoned by the persecuted who disappeared into those shadows. I've walked there picking mushrooms at the edge of dread, but don't be fooled. This isn't a Russian poem. This is not somewhere else, but here, our country moving closer to its own truth and dread in its own ways of making people disappear. I won't tell you where the place is, the dark mesh of the woods meeting the unmarked strip of light, ghost-ridden crossroads, leaf mold paradise. I know already who wants to buy it, sell it, make it disappear, and I won't tell you where it is. So why do I tell you anything? Because you still listen, because in times like these, to have you listen at all, it's necessary to talk about trees. Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Any quick promotions, feature readings, anything you want to promote other than the Lighthouse Writers?
I don't know, this wonderful organization right here is good.
Oh, that's a sick shirt. Awesome. Oh, this is a trend. I'm loving that. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. That's a really, really nice shirt. I'm gonna have to order one myself. But if you guys caught that right there, Mike has some of our official merchandise from what, like 3 or 4 years ago? Yeah, hold on, wait, hold on. Let me go back to the spotlight. Hold on. Let's do it one more time. Check out the merch, check out the shirts. This is our typewriter blooming. I forget what I called the official name of the shirt, but you got the BWOMS, Barbed Mike Series typewriter and the bloom. I love the imagery of that. Thanks for ordering one. I got to get the link and
You,
share that with you guys in the chat.
well,
And that's what's up.
all these people out in YouTube land can order one too.
It is a really great way to support the show. There actually are a lot of ways to support the show. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and post our link tree. We don't have it yet, but I will have a volunteer link in there. But for now, you can purchase a t-shirt. You can also check out our Amazon wish list. We have like simple little things like cable ties and things that you can donate to help with the cause. Oops, I posted the wrong link in the Zoom chat. That's my link tree. Sorry. Where are we? Okay, yeah, but YouTube, I'm gonna post this for you guys if you want to check it out. But in addition, there is a link to the t-shirts, and in fact, this is a perfect segue because our next performer was rocking one of the shirts last Tuesday, and that was super fun to see. I love seeing people coming onto the show and rocking their t-shirts. So I'm gonna have to order some so I can join us as well. Okay, so sorry, I'm multitasking. I'm running a show, trying to do stuff online, and watching sports on the side. But anyway, enough of that. Let's go ahead and continue onward. As I mentioned, our next performer has been coming through. It's always great to see him joining us from New Mexico. Once again, we have the return of Zach. Zach, when you're ready to go and take it away. All right. Good to see you again.
Hey, it's always good to see you, dude. Hey, thank you so much. Well, I have a little bit of a surprise. Hey, watch. Hey, the this poem I wrote when I was young. I was like 14, and I've rewritten it, I think 3 times, and I just did some rewriting on it. So I was gonna try that one, and then if you don't mind, I have one more in there short that should be around 5 minutes, if that's okay. So I'll try. Uh, oh, suck, and I have to find it. All right, hey. Little boy, idyllic world, chasing frogs, skip stones, running away from pretend ghosts, a house I thought was mine. I thought I would grow old. Mom and dad live forever. My brother would stay in touch. Little did I know, it's not the way the world works. Eventually, I would leave protected forest for the city. My mom would die. My brother and dad, oh, we don't speak. Infiltrate, coldness, bad vibes, injected straight to my heart. For now, Dad, protect me, teach me. I was young, distracted by mating dragonflies, a telescope, eyes wide, full moon. I asked my dad, is this the same moon that as a boy you saw too? When you were a boy, did you chase frogs and skip stones, pretend there were ghosts? Dad bent down, one knee. Nervously, he glanced to the moon and back to me. Father was sad to say the moon exists at the same age and in the same place. He couldn't tell me. One day, the tide would sweep him out to sea. No life jacket, no oxygen tank, cold water. And unlike these protected woods, Father's words would be so far away. He wanted to tell me everything he knew, shield me from ever growing up, a fate which he knew awaited me. I'm sorry. He wanted to hug. Tell me, kid, it'll be all right. Probably wanted to cry for the future that lay outside. The ocean awaits, waves crash, but no advice would make sense. He did what he knew. It was a moment in time. Summer night, he reached down to find smoothest rock in sight, taught his son the art of skipping stones. It's the art of skipping stones. The art of skipping stones. I write better, not sober. I can have 10,000 words and none of it can make sense, but it's words. It's when I fully express a feeling, emotion. It's how I exist. They come out like this. Hear taps on phone screen. Could be bathroom, living room, or squat down in kitchen. I write too much. Text messages over 3 screens long to everyone I know. It's not that I want to show off. It's that I can't write without making poem. It's just easier. Express myself for some reason. Rhyming just makes sense. I don't talk too well. Slurred words, I mispronounce. Lots of similar ones. Same theme, recycled rhymes. I would never show anyone. Circular thought. It goes from trash to trophy on mantle. Tell myself it's good, but deep inside, other voice tells me, pipe dream. Can't even handle your own life. You write because you're crazy. Imagine a psychologist's wet dream. 10 million words, you can't stop. Compulsive, like free books left in box. Does it help? Well, I'm not sure yet. But it's a recording of my mind. It's everything I think at the time. How I miss my wife. Best friend, 16 years later, she said goodbye. Like sitting on toilet. Guess I should shower. 6:30 in the morning and I ain't been to work once yet. 3 months later. Alcohol and asking people for favors. Laundry basket. Cocaine on kitchen counter. No family to speak for. Wow, there's no home I can go back to. I'm feeling hopeless. At least sometime watching, reading poetry, late night. A lot of talk about who I am. I still don't know, but hopefully my daughters grow old. Remember their old man. Remember the time we got to spend all these months together, playing video games, making silly songs. They could probably recite all my poems. Microphone, old effect pedal, cherish you. Don't know if I could hear Let It Go one more time through a stutter pedal. Feeling unrest. Letter in mail, work suspension. Letter in mail, district attorney office. Bills due, alternate universe. I would have probably ended it all. Fucked up. Probably a drug overdose. Here we stand. New Mexico sun. Dining room gets hot. Late fall, early spring. I'm shoveling snow. Broke hand, aches, punching things. Frustrated. Also just feel alive when I inflict pain on myself. Typically, I wouldn't hurt anyone else. Eyes tired, dry. It's been about a week. Same contacts remain in eye. It's been about a week, maybe combined. 30 hours of sleep. I say I'm trying. Mostly kitchen floor, and I'm crying. Guess it does help. I feel better. Maybe even shower. Do the dishes, vacuum floor. Luckily, I can write my heart expressed on a little phone screen.
Oh, Zach, always hitting with those pieces. All right, appreciate that. You got all the peeps in the little Zoom rectangles clapping away. If you guys are watching on YouTube, if you guys want to show some props to a piece, you can always throw little snaps in the chat or little fire emojis, little claps. There's all sorts of ways, or you could just type it out, right? Like that was awesome. You can use your words. Yeah, speaking of live chat, I want to give a shout out to people who have been tuning in. So of course, Camilla, Strong Turtle, Ruben, what's up? Good to see you again. Hey, we got Sandy, of course. Sandy is a regular. Great to have you hanging out in the chat with us. Nancy, welcome back. Good to see you, Nancy. Yeah, let us know you're here. Hang out with us in the chat. There's a line that you really love. Let us know. It's good to hear from you guys because unlike a show held in person at a venue, the whole performer audience relationship is much more different, and we don't know if you guys are intangible to us until you comment in the live chat or leave comments or whatever. But let's go ahead and continue on. By the way, we have a couple more people signed up, so I did make some updates to the list. Check the chat if you guys haven't had a chance to yet. But we're gonna go ahead and go from Zach. Great piece as always. Thank you. Heavy but interesting lines. uh we're gonna go to Las Cruces, where we have, I believe, the first time here. Oh, even though you've participated in other of our in-person events, from the writing workshops to the open mics in Las Cruces, it's always great when we get to someone join it and share their work. So without further ado, in Las Cruces, let's welcome Lynn Hoffman. Happy Monday. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. And I want to start out by saying happy Indigenous Peoples Day and a special thank you to the students at New Mexico State University who are having Native American students there. They are having activities all week long. And I attended their opening ceremonies, and they did beautiful ceremonies, and there was dancing and a free lunch. And I enjoyed that to the max, and it was beautiful to go. So thank you to them. I have just a couple short poems. They're both about autumn. The second one is extremely short because it's a haiku-ish thing. And the first one is a little longer, but not very long. And I love autumn. It's a beautiful season, but it's also kind of a melancholy season. So that is the theme of my first one. And it's called Autumn's Lament. Autumn, the season to gather, store, and celebrate a harvest, knowing that all needs will be met in the harsh times ahead. But what if this fall there is no harvest? Despite good intentions, I made mistakes. I listened to inappropriate advice. I was careless. I was reckless. I planted the wrong seeds in the wrong soil. I neglected tender sprouts that withered in the field. I abandoned survivors to stealthy marauders that voraciously devoured shoots and fruits. Now I am diminished, dispirited, and fear the shortening days. I long to sail away to the warm light south of the equator, where it is tender spring, not brittle fall, and my foolishness might be forgotten. But too often I have stumbled away from my failures, always without satisfaction, only to flee again, repeating a cycle of frustration, but never fulfillment. Perhaps this time I might dig into buried wisdom, forage for strength throughout autumn's brilliant days, stoically endure winter's shivering hardships, while I patiently anticipate the promised renewal that must courageously blossom each spring. Thank you. And here's my little, I think it's a haiku, but there are a lot of rules. So here we go. Vibrant leaves dance by, glistening crystals join in, Gaia cloaks her face. That's it. Thank you. Hoffman out.
Awesome. That's such a cool sign off. Do you have, just really quick, do you have anything you want to promote, links or places where people can support you online or anything like that?
Well, I'm on Facebook. I'm mostly a photographer, so if you want to come see my photos, I'm on Facebook under Lynn Hoffman. I'm on Instagram under Lynn Nature Pics, Lyn Nature Pics, Pix, and would love to have you drop by.
Very cool. That's awesome. No, thank you, Lynn, and look forward to the open mic in Las Cruces and seeing
Yes, I
what you
do.
wrote on that exhibit, especially as a photographer. Cool. Awesome, awesome,
Thank
awesome.
you.
Cool. What's up? Giving a shout out to Rain Soto. Thanks for joining in. Camila, I see you're still here. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, stick around for a little bit. I'm gonna let you guys know about the Tejano Passport. Again, if you're just getting into the room, just hang out for a bit. Listen to the performers, listen to the poetry, the lines, and you're gonna all I'm gonna ask is that you just write a little something in the email, but I'll leave the instructions. But we're gonna continue, guys. Once again, this is our online open mic. We do this every Monday. And if you do want to perform yourself, if you feel a little bit of courage, you're like, you know what, I wrote something like in high school, and maybe I can like, share that, or maybe you just write to like relieve stress or get things off of your mind, and you want to share that, then yeah, everyone's welcome. Everyone of all experience levels, even if it's your first time, we especially welcome first timers. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and continue on. And like I said, even though we've been kind of hanging out in the Southwest, we get to bounce around all over the country. In fact, we're gonna go to South Euclid, Ohio, where we have their very own poet laureate sitting there, Mr. Doc Janning. Doc, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Thanks, Richie. Syzygy. I phase through, among lives and timelines, dimensions and universes. Confused and agitated, I am torn among existences, not knowing, know who or what, asleep or awake, not knowing where or when or if. Am I before today or beyond tomorrow? All is become a physical convergence of thought, dream, and nightmare. Reality is become a concept, but nothing is real. And I drift. Earth songs of autumn, a crescendo of color, an opera of change and plenty, amid echoes of summer and whispers of seasons to come. Songs of smoke on the breeze, oak, maple, elm, and more. Hearths alive with dancing flames. Ancient lays of falling leaves, presage airs of barren trees. Gaia's age-old oratorio, an aria, time. And this doesn't have a title. In the space between moments, between breaths, life happens. And love is found and lost. And pain remains. And in keeping with what Mike started, I'm going to An American Sunrise by Joy Harjo and her poem, Beyond. Beyond sunrise, there is a song we follow. Beyond clouds traveling with rain humped on their backs, lightning in their fists. Beyond the blue horizon where our ancestors appear bearing gifts, wrapped in blankets woven with sun and sounds of scarlet time. beyond the footpaths we walk every day, from sunrise to kitchen, to work, to garden, to play, to sunset, to dark, and back. Beyond where the baby sleeps, her breath, a light mist of happiness, making a fine rainbow of becoming knowledgeable around us. Beyond the children learning alphabets and numbers, bent over their sticks and dolls as they play war and family, grow human paths. Beyond the grandmothers and grandfathers, their mothers and fathers, and in the marrow of their bones, to when that song was first sung, we traveled on. Beyond sunset, can you hear it? The shaking of shells, the drumming of feet, the singers singing, all of us, all at once, in the song of beyond. How deep we are. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Doc. Appreciate that. Anything that you want to promote or plug really quick before we move on?
Not at the moment. Thank you.
All right, appreciate that. Doc Janning, everyone, always taking us through deep, poetic, introspective journeys through the eternal and the spaces between spaces. Cool. So I just posted the link or the directions for the Tejano passports. If you guys are students waiting for that stuff, it's there. We're gonna go ahead and continue on, and this is a part of the show where we get to go international because we're gonna go ahead and drop in to listen to some poetry from Julian in Malaysia, who just joined back. Hey, Julian, you're there. So you already have access to share screen. Welcome back to the show and take it away when you're ready. Hey.
Hi. Trigger warning for child death in Gaza. So I was particularly moved by this picture of this 10-year-old who was recovered, and you can see that she had pink rollerblades on before the airstrike hit her. I'm just a kid. I want to learn like other children. I'd like to go to the park and play. 10-year-old Tala Abu Ajwa rollerblader is told by her mother. I'm just a kid. What am I to you? Gangrene, the wound that never heals, pus inside, maggots that drive. What are we? Amputations, amputees, half a person, half a woman, half a child. If I did a sport, at least I'd qualify as a Paralympian. I'd train, go all out, win a medal for my country, for my people, for my humanity. I'm just a kid, just like yours. Here are my living legs. I still use them to fetch water, to line up for rations, to get to places deemed safe by you. Learn to skate, to get by faster, to weave through the rubble of my broken land, to find the park that's no longer there. I just learned how to glide, to heel brake, to break my fall safely. Look at my knees, they're scratched but healed. I come from good bones, but these thorns in my side are not my own. I'm no rebel, no rebel rouser, no troublemaker. I'm a twig yet to leave, yet to flower, but what harms the root harms the ends. This canopy offers no shade, its branches are not olive. They may forgive, but never forget. I'm a believer, a stargazer, a Gazan. I'm not your chosen fate for me. I deserve hope, not hate. Why harm me? Harm us. I'm just a kid, an inline skater, a rollerblader, a pink princess on pink wheels, yet you cut me down, broke my crown. I'm a child of the wind, the sun, the earth. I belong here. Yet you let me down, lowered me in the ground. I'm not a missile target, collateral damage, merely an airstrike. The wheels of your humanity have come off. There is no one to take the wheel. Your God, now mine. I was just a kid. Nothing will grow here. For every sapling you behead today, a maternal curse may trail you into your future. There will be no shade for your lack of remorse. Generational trauma is a wounded tree whose roots run deep. Every single branch will be tainted with your guilt. Why have you chosen this divisive path? Are your trees not laden already, sagging to the ground that you cannot even spare one slice of fruit for a neighbor? Do you not cleave to him as we do? Cleave can mean to bond, to abide by, be true to, or to sever, split, crack open. You have chosen the latter. Self-proclaimed cleaver, defiant deceiver, unmasked guillotiner, do you not see this merciless felling, nay, this uprooting, only despoils the soil forever? Nothing will grow here but hate. You have poisoned the river that flows between us. No mother sea will have the heart to ever cleanse. Someone else's rubble. I lie here below the ash, still breathing, but only just. We were playing with a doll with a missing eye. Someone else's rubble. I dressed it up like it was my own with a bloodied bandage that someone else no longer needed. The dead have very few needs, maybe a prayer, a sprinkle of water, an olive branch, or a dove's feather to remember where they lay beneath the lies, just as I am here now, waiting the end or a rescue. Either way, still beneath someone else's rubble. Thank you.
Thank you, Julian. One of the hardest things about hosting is getting everything back after something so heavy like that. Thanks for sharing, man. I will share the link tree to people in chat who want to continue to see more of what Julian posts online. As you can see, there's a lot that goes into not just the poem itself, but the visual elements. And just recently had some pieces accepted as well. So congrats on that. Um, oh man. I already had a student email me about that first piece you read. So, oof, it struck, it struck. All right, Sandy. Hey, Sandy. Okay, let's go ahead and continue onward. Thank you, Julian Matthews. We're gonna go ahead and come back to El Paso, where we have the mysterious Halebrook, who wants to sing a song, I think. So, if that's the case, Halebrook, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. I'll get you on the spotlight as soon as you get started.
Okay, can you guys hear me well?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna sing a little Nat King Cole. Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Take me out of this world tonight. Take me, make me forget my sorrow. So when I wake tomorrow, I'll know our love was right. Kiss me as though it were now or never. Teach me all that a heart should know. Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh, my darling, love me. Don't ever let me go. That's it. I'm done. Screw you guys. I'm going home.
All right, man. It's
Yeah.
awesome, man. Thanks for sharing that. Did you I know you weren't sure if you're gonna do some poetry or not either, but nah.
Hopefully next week I'll have something new.
Okay, cool. Yeah, looking forward to that. Well, thanks for singing, man. Oh, hold on a second. There we go. Hellbrook. Hey, it's kind of been a while too, so I'm glad to see that you're still around, and you're always welcome at these. So come on through. All right, what's up, Espanolos 3? Welcome, welcome. If you were joining us, hey, just hang out for a bit. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go ahead and continue onward. Again, if you are an APCC student, shoot me an email. The directions are in the live chat. You can scroll up and see that. It's in two parts. But we're gonna go ahead and stick around in El Paso for I meant to say this at the beginning of the show, but next week we're gonna have a special guest host in our next performer. Some might even say maybe a birthday hosting thing. It's close enough. So, without further ado, let's see. Let me get you on the screen. Kit, Mr. Monday Night, when you're ready, go and take it away.
uh, Thank you, Richie. Thank you, everyone who went before me. Thank you, everyone who goes after. Yeah, good to see you, Hellbrook. It's been a bit. Hang on.
There you go.
There we go. I think we both did it, and then we forgot which one of us did it. That was behind the curtain. Don't worry about it. Stay out of it. Gosh, I have no idea what I'm trying. There's been some good stuff so far. All right, we'll just see what happens. I just found this notebook. Oh, this is a good one. The way to survive winter is to survive it. I'm sorry. I can't be more helpful. I think I should tell you as little as possible about hope, about green shoots, snowbanks melting, and roads being patched, because then you'll look for them, and not finding them immediately, give up again, and finally. And hope is most lastingly experienced, as I have experienced it, as a static shock, something you weren't prepared for. Something you try to ignore, but before you can crouch down back into a defensive pose, it's already tomorrow. You already made it into a year that you didn't think the calendars would ever mark for you. And from a recent boards that we did with one of our longtime participants, Annie Sparks, at long last got a hold of the talking stick and did a very wonderful workshop to do with animals, and also featured some very striking paintings from an artist whose name I forgot, but of like animals before the fall, like the tiger and the hippo and the deer all lying together, and like the carnivores look kind of freaked out. It was really, really kind of very strange painting and mise en scene, and so I wrote about that. The lion and the tiger are stunned. They look like nobody has ever talked to them like this before. Perhaps we are not the only animals with pretenses. As the bull mutters coarsely and lowly, the kinds of things only heard at closing time, the lion remembers when he was a king, when nobody spoke to him in this way, nobody got close enough to whisper, nobody said things in this fashion. Cut and grass blades landing in his ear. And the tiger is starving to death. He can't believe what they try to give him. In place of the blood and kidneys, two cherubs tried to gently guide him to acceptance of spoonfuls of quinoa and blueberries. Here comes the aeroplane, the angels say, in an admittedly gorgeous, sonorous voice. The tiger is weak and afraid and guilty. What does it mean to starve in heaven? Why is this happening to me? What was wrong with the way I lived? What's an airplane? The angel sings so beautifully, but what is this song? And again, happy Indigenous Peoples Day. You'll hopefully that's not the last time you hear that today. But the calendar has aligned with my little cover poem project anyway. And so the next person I want to highlight who made it to the shortlist for the National Book Award for Poetry is MS Red Cherries. She is, let me pull up her bio, get the relevant things. She is a citizen of the Northern Cheyenne Nation and has an MFA from the Iowa Writers Workshop and also a JD from Arizona State Law. So, you know, a poet and a lawyer. There's no escaping. Her words will reach you one way or the other. So I'm going to read Finding Tomorrow by MS Red Cherries. It has been said that Indians want to be left alone, but never actually be alone. Growing up and being the only Indian in your school, in your town, in the eastern half of your state, at a place where you open a history textbook and see pictures of real Indians doing real Indian things, like bathing in rivers next to a teepee. And your classmates ask you, do you do that too? And I ask myself, should I? And where your high school mascot is the Indians. And that makes you feel like the only real Indian in the world. Like the place you were from never existed. But you know it exists because that is where your family lives. And every Christmas you talk to them on the phone and they tell you stories about home and you ask, Mother, where is the Indian in me? Modernity. Weird thing that weird racket get caught up in. But the Tumblewords Project, ever modern and ever forward, continues this week with a new presenter, JL Joy Wright, with Right to Heal. Very excited to see what she has to bring to us. Very excited to see where that all goes. And then, of course, next week, there is the famous Raquel Mejia's Day of the Dead workshops. This one is subtitled The Unreliable Narrator. So, plenty of great things in Tumblewords. I will be at a master ceremonies for this very Zoom mic next week. Keep everything moving smoothly and freely as we do. Means a lot that Richie trusts me with the keys to this, and I haven't betrayed that trust yet. I reserve the right to do that in the future if I think that's what I need to do, but I haven't yet. And October 31st, Halloween. Sounds like a great night to go read some poetry live. And that's what we'll be doing at Old Sheepdog Brewery with our open mic for poetry and music. And as befits, we'll be having a little costume contest. TBA on prizes, but you know, I'm going to dress up anyway. So do you want to leave me looking alone like an idiot? Go ahead and dress up too. Help me help you. All right. So we're going to kick it back to Richie and we'll see you later.
All right, thank you, kids. So really looking forward to that as well. Our Halloween nights open mic. I've already had a few people message me the exact same thing. They're like, "Hey, I'm gonna dress up. Are other people gonna dress up? Otherwise, I don't." And they wanted to confirm, and so I'm telling everyone yes. So if you all dress up, we're good. We're solid. I gotta go find a costume in the next couple weeks for sure. Couple weeks. Yeah. Okay. Time is crazy. Yeah. I got a couple weeks to figure it out, but not last minute. So for those of you who are watching and you live in El Paso, you can check out our live in-person open mics. We do have several throughout the month, and you can find it on our social media. We do have a Google Calendar that you can subscribe to or just check every now and then to see what's going on. In addition to these Monday night shows online every night on Monday. Yeah, we got Tuesday nights. We have Craft Rhythm and Brews once a month. We have Old Sheepdog, and then we have special events throughout the month as well. Like, for example, Las Cruces is this Saturday. All right, so let's go and keep going. We're gonna go and stop in with our friend in Falls Church, Virginia, an amazing poet. I'm always a fan of his pieces, always kind of trying some new stuff out. I'm always a big fan of the pieces that touch on education as well. So without further ado, let's welcome back to the show, Wall Poet. What's up, man? Hey, happy Monday.
Hey, how y'all doing? All right.
All right.
Okay. Yes, so let's just get started. The first one, is called Poetry on the Menu. I think I wrote this like last week, so we'll see how it goes. All right. Okay. Hey, how you doing? My name is Wild Poet. I'll be your poet for the evening. Let me tell you about our specials. To start, let's start again. Hey, how you doing? My name is Wild Poet. I'll be your poet for the evening. Let me tell you about our specials. To start, we have a delectable and delicious platter of alliteration with a dash of assonance. For an entree, don't worry, we have something truly filling. Sauteed metaphors on a bed of similes, just like Mama used to make, am I right? Also, you say you're starving. Well, that's perfect because we have flambéed hyperbole enough to feed you and about 50 of your closest friends. Also, you say you don't understand the menu. Well, then say no more. Let me explain. I understand that poetry can sometimes feel out of touch and out of reach, full of terms that only English professor would appreciate. And you might think that poetry has nothing to offer that Netflix and chill can already take care of, but I beg to differ. The art that lives and breathes on your wall is poetry. The Spotify playlist that serenades you daily is poetry. And I'm sure you're saying, that's what every English teacher says. But according to the Oxford Language Dictionary that resides on my laptop, any intense sense of beauty or emotion can be poetry, which means the first time you had your heart broken was poetry. But I know what you're saying. How can my heart being ripped from my chest and served in our charcuterie board be poetry? How can crying alone at night in my crappy car at age 20 after having a nervous breakdown be poetry? But it's also a first kiss in the sight of your newborn child. And when you're firing on all cylinders on stage and you and your audience are sharing a telepathic connection, it's hard to explain a feeling that overwhelms you and inspires you to be creative. But I can tell you that whether you believe it or not, poetry is a necessity. It lives inside of all of us, waiting to come out when we most need it. It's our compass, map, and raft, our survival gear. And in this world that we currently inhabit, we could all use a little more of it. All right, I'm just keep going. This one's called Letter to Publishing Editor. All right. I am writing today to persuade you to take another look at my poetry. See, I've applied to your publication and patiently waited for you to finally decide to publish one of my amazing works of art. But for some peculiar reason, you have not done this yet. Perhaps I forgot to double space my manuscript. Perhaps I forgot to add a blurb about why I chose to submit to this publication. Perhaps I forgot to tell you that it's in my personal bucket list to be published in this publication before my 43rd birthday. So my man, why don't you just go ahead and publish my poem real quick? So when a younger, wet behind the ears writer asks me, how can I get my work published? I can straighten up my tie, adjust the brim of my hat and say, well, the first thing you got to do is, and the next thing you got to do is, and the third thing you got to do is, and don't forget to tell them I sent you. So my dude, you're going to publish my goddamn poem or what? Perhaps you need me to prove I understand all the elements of poetry. Or perhaps you need me to prove that my metaphors and similes somersault through the air. See, that's personification. Perhaps you need me to stop being so needy. See, that's alliteration. Because if you don't publish my poem, then what does it say about me that I've been writing this long and it's still not enough, that my writing is not good enough, that I am not good enough? Or maybe I could just stop seeking validation when I know what I'm capable of. I know that my words can lead a movement when inspired, inspiring to be more than just a bubblegum writer with big dreams. So you know what? Don't publish me, because the fact that you haven't published me hasn't stopped me from writing, dreaming, performing on stage. Don't publish me so I can prove to myself and everyone who doubted me that you are wrong. All right, we'll just keep going. All right. The next one is just something different I wrote. I had seen a feature performer that I liked, and I just tried writing something different. So we'll see what y'all think. All right, this one's called Lacking Depth. A professional writer once told me that my writing lacked depth. specifically that I only write about myself and the superficial. So I put on my scuba gear and dove to the bottom of the ocean in hopes of finding inspiration to produce a work of art. I searched through mollusks in the underwater caves. I searched through seaweed that tangled around my mask. I searched through sea slugs that slipped into my wetsuit. When I finished, I went on a pilgrimage to the Atacama Desert, asked them about the ocean they stole from my Bolivian ancestors. I searched through sand dunes, copper, and mummified birds. I got hungry, so I stopped for an empanada. When I finished, I went to the Himalayas to look for spiritual enlightenment. I searched alongside a Bengal tiger, a snow leopard, and a one-horned rhino. I bought a pashmina scarf. Finally, I locked myself in a room in the dark and sat on the floor next to a notebook and a pen, thinking I might write from the perspective of thinking I might write from the perspective of an Incan warrior, thinking I might write from the perspective of Che Guevara's ghost. Instead, I wrote a poem about why I hate reality television and love on beagles instead. So, something different. All right, and I think I'll just do two more and finish at that. All right, this one I wrote a long time ago, and it's called People Don't Answer More. Trapped in my car, waiting, my fingers type away like a rooster eating seeds, my laptop exhausted while my body folds like an accordion against the steering wheel. I stopped to watch my daughter, Lauren, a volatile mixture of Caribbean and Central American rebelliousness, stomp and sway to Bolivian folkloric flutes and drums blasting out of a car that resemble a spaceship. Rap over a go-go beat plays in mine. Effortlessly, she glides to each Bolivian drum beat, which becomes louder, taking over my ears, drowning out my music like a radio station switching dials, a sea of green shirts as she and a herd of teenagers practice caporales in an empty parking lot. See, she's learned this dance 3 weeks ago, and she's better at it than I could ever be. Me, I feel more natural dancing to Bob Marley at my own wedding than ever dancing to anything Bolivian. And I was the one born there. Still, though, I sit and stare, realizing that we both gravitate to what is not expected of us. Our differences seem to bring out our similarities, and for today, I'm okay with that. And then just one more. This is short. It's called Brevity and You're Right. I once thought a lengthy poem proves sophistication. Any shorter and you must be a novice. That was before I read poems that unfolded like maps, that told stories through words that sprinkle the page like powdered sugar on empanadas. Sometimes less is more, and imagery can breathe in the tiniest of crawl spaces of your mind. Thank you very much. If you're interested in my work, WildPoet82 on Instagram, and then wildpoet8.press. I have WordPress. Thanks a lot.
Amazing pieces as always, man. I love them. They're so great. Oh, there's so much going on. We got like poetry being written in the chat. We're like Wild Poets dropping some great poetry as well. We'll give a follow. Thank you guys so much for coming out and hanging out with us on Monday nights. All right, we are going to continue onward. I have so many tabs open right now. Okay, so we're gonna drop in with our friend Cassie in Canada, and I hope you are here with us. Yes. Hey, you haven't had to log back in. Cassie, how's it going over there? How you feeling? Happy Monday. You
Happy
ready?
Monday, Richie. Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
All right.
All right. Okay. So this first poem is called Reasons for Staying. To repeat the same mistakes and learn that you are in good company doing so. To learn from your mistakes and find new ones to take their place. To share the wins, yours, those of others. To share the losses, yours, those of others. To breathe so deeply, so deliberately on a temperate, still summer evening by the lake that you notice the way the bugs dance over the water. And when your noticing begins to be quietly chased by a feeling of unease, born out of what the dance reminds you of, you manage to swat away that likeness so that you can have a clear view of the edges of the rock on the shore, clear enough for you to notice that they remind you of nothing. And suddenly there are no more thoughts, no more unsettling likenesses circling, just moments of noticing salient enough that you become sure that that particular breeze those 6 square inches of grass beneath your still feet, that carefree crest of waves, and you are all right where you are supposed to be, crossing paths for one seamless moment. Okay. Okay, so I have another one of mine here, and it is called The Answer is Wonderment. I wore myself out trying to crack the code, to unlock pure happiness, and instead was only called upon to answer why. I scoured the earth to uncover life's meaning, and was only called upon to answer what if there were no mysteries left. Sorry, one moment. Okay, I'm just gonna backtrack for a second here. I scoured the earth to uncover life's meaning, and was only called upon to answer why. Okay, I've tripped myself up completely. Okay, keep touching the screen in the wrong place. Okay, one more time. I'm gonna start from the top here. Okay, I wore myself out trying to crack the code to unlock pure happiness, and instead was only called upon to answer why. I scoured the earth to uncover life's meaning, and was only called upon to answer what if there were no mysteries left? Where would you place your wonderment? What would spark the dopamine to flow? What would you chase with glee? See, when I was a kid, I didn't realize in the future laid a curious option, full of air and light, that there are mysteries I could best leave unsolved, in favor of chasing wonderment and letting meaning flutter and flit before me and dissipate into the ether, into the dark of the still night. All right, thank you for bearing with me on that one. So I have some cover poems here. Okay. Just getting this loaded up here. Okay, so this first poem is called A Voice from I Don't Know Where by Mary Oliver. It seems you love this world very much. Yes, I said. This beautiful world. And you don't mind that, and you don't mind the mind that keeps you busy all the time with its dark and bright wonderings? No, I'm quite used to it. Busy, busy all the time. And you don't mind living with those questions? I mean, the hard ones that no one can answer. Actually, they're the most interesting. And you have a person in your life whose hand you like to hold? Yes, I do. It must surely then be very happy down there in your heart. Yes, I said, it is. All right. So I haven't decided whether I'm gonna read both of these or just one. Just one moment. How am I doing for time? Am I good on time? I haven't asked that in a while.
I think you're doing great on time. You can do
Okay.
two. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I read a Robert Woodlin poem last week. The new poet to me, I'm not super familiar with him, but there's quite a number of his poems that stood out to me. So I'm gonna read a couple of those. This first one is called We Got Used to the Surprises by, like I said, Robert Woodlin. Okay. Just because of the way this flows, I'm gonna say the title one more time. We got used to the surprises until there were none left, and we had to breed them in captivity. Nature continued to re-evolve its crab. Possum hands insisted on looking like ours for no good reason. It's not that we let ourselves down, but that there was something predictable about us. Our smiles identically, involuntarily while texting back. Our self-same habit, describing the newest old loves strictly by their worst qualities. We gave up counting on intuition, accepted it for its failures like parents trying over. It's true, the reasons you can't touch a cloud and you can't touch a rainbow have nothing at all to do with each other. All right. So that's the first one. And the second one is called From the List of My Fears by Robert Woodland. We were once again Orpheus's incompetence. We found everything we wanted in the past but couldn't bring it with us. We made the same mistake we always do. We were okay anyhow, so we did not become wiser. Instead, we were made holy by the persistent foghorn, or the foghorn's persistence, we weren't sure which. We were made beautiful by the act of looking each other in the mirror and asking if we were beautiful. We were made hopeful by grass growing clandestine on the roof. We were alive most of the time. We were the lingering compromise living made of the day. We chased groundhogs out of the barn, and for this we apologized profusely to each other, but not for some reason to the groundhogs. This much I loved, like the tenderness of asking for a favor without saying what it. Sorry, this much I loved, like the tenderness of asking for a favor without saying what it is first. All right, so there's just some odd poems for you. So that's what I have for poems tonight. If you are curious at all to see more of my work, my writing, I do infrequently post on my Instagram. If you're on Instagram, at Relentless Intrigue. I also infrequently facilitate online generative poetry workshops, which you'll see updates about. If you're curious about them on my Instagram as well. And also, I'm putting together like a poets community online virtual like poetry games night. So there'll be some update. The date hasn't been finalized yet. It's just gonna be a night of games that are either inherently have poetic features, or like I'm probably gonna adapt some games to have some poetic elements. Just to I get some connection with other poets outside of workshops. So yeah, if you're interested in that, if you again, you can go to my Instagram and see updates about it. There'll be a sign up shortly when I finalize today. Okay. Thank you, Richie. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thanks, Cassie. I'm always happy when you read a bunch of poems like that, and it wasn't um over completely like overtime either. So um fantastic pieces too, I have to say. So definitely check out we probably might have to you might not have to use might have to change poetry games to something else, because I thought of Finn Bell right away. Poetry games. But if you guys have any suggestions for what kind of games can be played, throw us in the some suggestions in the chat. Oh, what's up? We got Anthony in the house. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. I kind of forgot about the live chat for a little bit. Sorry, guys. Rain, Kevin. Hey, Kevin, what's going on? Good to see you. Welcome to the live chat. Yeah, good to have you guys here. All right. Relentless intrigue. Relentlessly intriguing. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. I don't have wait, is he here? Okay. One of our performers is not here yet. To be fair, though, it is like 3 a.m. on his side of the world, or around that time. So we're gonna go ahead and move on. And if he makes it, that's awesome. If not, it's just an online mic. We're gonna be here next Monday. But we're gonna come back to Washington, D.C., where we got some jokes and poems. If you know him, you know him. That's right. It's time for the one, the only Mr. Fantastic, Ed Poetastic. When you're ready, go and rock and roll, my friend.
Thank you, my brother, but we are fantastic. And thank you for being so enthusiastic. Hello, my name is Ed Potastic. I hope everyone's feeling fantastic. Please give me the time so you can join my rhyme, for all feels sublime. I got 11 jokes, 3 poems, so I'll take too much time. The first joke is, how did a tree get a new job? Because she had the right qualifications. What is the best book to read in autumn? Uh-oh. What is the best book to read in... Sorry about that. What is the best book to read in autumn? Gourd of the Rings. Why was the man shopping for Reynolds wrap? His wife wanted to see fall footage. Why did a turkey cross the road? Because it was the chicken's day off. Why was the robot couple anniversary in fall? They were autumn-matted. Why did the apple pie go to the dentist? Because it needed a filling. What do Jedi trees say to each other in the fall? May the forest be with you. What do you call a small pepper in late autumn? A little chili. What do farmers wear under their shirts when they're cold? A harvest. How do trees get on the internet? They log on. Last but not least, what can a whole apple do that half an apple can't do? It can look round. I love these jokes. All right. I got three poems. My first poem is called Drunken Fish. Well, 'cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chasing my blues away, and I'll be okay. Well, I'm not big on social graces. Think I'll slip on down to the oasis. Oh, I got friends in low places. Sorry for that. Please drink responsibly before you hurt your man or sweetie. Please don't get pulled over by a roaring hangover. Please know limits before reality hits. This is called Drunken Fish. A cup of Henny to make me sing like Whitney, a cup of wine to make me feel fine, a cup of beer to put me into joyful tears, a cup of Guinness to put me in a stage of bliss, a cup of Blue Moon to turn me into a balloon, a cup of Bud Light to make me feel alright, a cup of Martini to make me feel like Bond, sweetie, a cup of Pina Colada to make me feel the beach drama, a glass of Grasshopper to make me feel like a show starter, a cup of Bloody Mary to make me feel like Dracula and scary, a cup of lager to maybe feel a bit hotter, a cup of ale to straighten my sail, a cup of Sammy Adams. Oh, that was random. A cup of porter to make me feel in order, a cup of strout to make me hungry for trout, a cup of mead to make me loose like weed, a cup of Angry Orchard to help me put 1 foot forward, a cup of Corona to make me sing my Sharona, a cup of Budweiser to make me get much higher, a cup of Dustuckies to make me feel at ease. If you don't drink, it's okay. Too much to drink, you can't think. Enjoy your days. I know what you're thinking. Yes, I drank them all. It was college. The balls were singing. I was answering the call. I'm not a pushover. Oh God, here comes the hangovers. All right. This other one is called Green-Eyed Monster. Oh, found it. I'm a monster, but I'm timid, not monstrous. I clench only roses, daisies, and violets in my fists. I know it looks sickling green, unhumanly tall, and simply dubious. I don't eat people, but mainly vegetables and fish. How do I came to be in my spontaneous misery? I was alive! My body felt jittery. Moved my body was slippery and trickery. Only mumbles and grunts were my delivery. My whole body's made from the dead. Yes, you heard what I said. I still feel their memories and emotions inside my head. I hear cries, laughs, curses, and moans when I go to bed. My memories are pieces flowing into my mind, the mementos of the dead that are not left behind. Our lives, fates, and destiny, even our bodies are entwined. I'm their mumbling and stumbling unholy guide. I'm Frankenstein. No, my godfather is. No, it's not Jor Divine. It's not my name, but his. It's his name, not mine. I'm no name, and he's the science whiz. I asked my father, what was my purpose? He started showing me complex notes. He simply says, I'm an experiment he wants to promote. He said out of all his failed experiments, he loved me the most. Father did made me a feminine undead lover. I adore our tender moments with each other. A new shade of warmth for this grotesque monster. After her death, I still suffer from my pain I can't recover. At a moment of rage, I broke out of my remote cage. I stumbled to a vivid and green stage, a new lively and vibrant page. The fluffy creatures and tiny dots were strange. I met a little girl by the pond. Her dress was colorful with hair so blonde. She stared at me, curious and odd, a new beginning of our strange bond. She laughed and gave me a little tiny flower, the fragrant scent with warm shower. I'm her friendly green and unique tower. It was nice experiencing something so sweet then sour. I heard her voice. She smiled and waved at me. She said, see you again when I'm free. I'll stay here resting underneath a tree. It'll be me with the plants, animals, and bumblebees. I woke up. There she was, my dearest friend. We're going to have fun over again. Let's play tag, hide and seek, or pretend. A loud scream transcend. A man screamed, honey, get away from that thing. His silver tongue did hurt and sting. The sharp rock started to fling. I left, his rage still rang. I ran to a abandoned house. I was quiet than any church mouse. Had my doubts when I heard shouts. They kept me in while I wanted out. They hold pitchforks high with fire in their eyes. They howl in the empty, dark, smoky sky. They scream while the torches rose high. The flames burn everything, including my cries. Damn my enormous, large, and enormous feet. I could never be normal or discreet. I could never indulge in something sweet. Oh, fire bad! The raging, painful heat. My regrets spewing from blackened lungs. I'm decaying inside the sun. The embers feasting away my eyes and tongue. My body slowly becoming one with the crumbs. The painful flames are biting at my crying flesh. Hope my blackened corpse gives you bright relief. The nameless monster responsible for your inner tormented mess. I love my short life, even it was chaotic, misunderstood, and brief. Thank you. I'm good. Okay, we got another one. This is called Fear. Do, 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 do. Fear. The creature in the dark, hiding beneath your bed. That fear reached our hearts, nest inside our heads, shiver as sharp as darts, body heavy as lead, ripping us apart, wishing we were dead. Here's an inner start. You can't forget what's been said. Here's a rational fact. You're not having a heart attack. In all, it's really whack. Don't add, but subtract. Don't let it stack. You are still intact. You can still act. You're not under contract. You can still adapt. You can always backtrack. It's not an attack. Please don't overreact. A matter of fact, you can always unpack. No, it's not a rise crack. Live, fail, learn, and grab a snack. Things aren't always black. It's just an abstract from an impact. Thank you.
All right, Ed. Appreciate it, man. As always, thank you for coming through with all the jokes and poems. I love it, man. How can people follow and support your work online?
Well, you can follow me, support me, and work online while coming to this wonderful open mic that makes our money light such a light in the wonderful, fantastic spotlight. All right. Well, if you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook is Eddie Foreman 92. And no, my Facebook is Eddie Foreman, and my IG is Eddie Foreman 92. And if you want me to, I'm sorry, my Facebook is 84 and my IG is 8492. Remember, if the mic's right, I'll be there to shine with fantastic insight. You send me a guess. If you take guess, the answer is yes. Hope everyone stays safe, healthy, and blessed. Never stop spewing the one words inside your chest. Never stop being, feeling, and doing your best. And remember, you're more important than you ever know. Don't stop your flow and never ever stop your glow. If you don't know how, now you know. How I love this show. Yeah.
Awesome, Ed. Thank you. Very cool stuff, man. Looking good there. All right. So a friend didn't come through, but I'm gonna stall. I'm gonna read two pieces, and if he doesn't make it in those two pieces, we'll go ahead and move on to our closer, who is Dan. But Dan, sit back in case Luis does get here. We'll get him on, and then you. But I decided to dig out one of my favorites, "Promises of Gold" by Jose Olivares. Awesome collection, and this is one of his pieces called "Ode to Tortillas." There's two ways to be a Mexican writer that we've discovered so far. You can be the Mexican writer who writes about tortillas, or you can be the Mexican writer who writes about croissants instead of the tortillas on their plate. Can you be a Mexican writer if you're allergic to corn? There's two ways to be a Mexican writer that are true and tested. You can write about migration, or you can write about migration. Can you be a Mexican writer if you've never migrated, if your family never migrated? There's two ways to be a Mexican writer. You can translate from Spanish, or you can translate to Spanish, or you can refuse to translate altogether. There's only one wound in the Mexican writer's imagination, and it's the wound of the chancla. It's the wound of birria being sold out at the taco truck. It's the wound of too many dolores and not enough dollars. It could be argued that these are all chanclazos. Even death is a chanclazo. There's only one miracle gifted to Mexicans, and it is the miracle of never running out of cheap beer. It is the miracle of never running out of bad jokes. There's infinite ways to eat a tortilla, made in the ancient ways by hand and warmed on a comal, made with corn or with Taco Bell plastic. What about flour tortillas? Flour tortillas, if you ask San Antonio, my people, I am Polly with the tortillas. You can eat tortillas with your hands and roll them up and dip them in caldo like my mom does. You can eat them with a fork and knife like my bougie cousins do. What bougie cousins? I made them up for the purpose of this poem. You can eat tortillas and tacos or warmed up by microwave butter, tortillas con arroz, tortillas con frijoles, tortillas flipped by hand or tortillas flipped with the spatula, tortillas with eggs for breakfast, tortillas fried and sprinkled with sugar for dessert, hard shell tortillas, gluten-free tortillas. For our mixed family, we are still discovering new ways to fold a tortilla, to cut a tortilla up, to transform a tortilla into new worlds, to feed each other with tortillas. My people, if I have children, I will tell them about tortillas, but I'm sure they'll want McDonald's. Yeah, so this is the Chicago homie Jose Olivares. He's visited El Paso a couple times now, so it's been kind of an honor to work with him. I got one more that I'm gonna read, just because it's kind of a fun one too. It's not necessarily an ode, but this is The Selected Legends of Andre the Giant by W. Todd Kaneko. 13. After the dinosaurs fell asleep, after those terrible lizards began their slow decay into mythology, Andre the Giant was there to cradle their bodies in his soft hands and weep. 24. Andre the Giant wrestled the earth into a globe, carved his name into the ocean floor with his pinky to remind whales who taught them to sing. 32. Andre the Giant was a village. Then he became a dragon. Then he became an army. Then he became a king. Now he is the wind. 40. A man can't body slam Andre the Giant unless he's worthy of slaying a monster, unless the giant decides it's time to lie down. 58. Andre the Giant stole fire from heaven, hid it in his mouth, fed it to monkeys one lick at a time until they learned to pronounce his name. 67. Before there were boys with magic beanstalks, with slingshots or singing swords, Andre the Giant brawled with sooty angels, volcanoes spouting from where he buried their hearts. 75. Andre the Giant scaled the Empire State Building with Marilyn Monroe in one hand, Cleopatra in the other. They marveled at how small we are. 81. Andre the Giant once cracked the sky's ribs. Then he was thunder churning like trout. Then he was an avalanche of fists and knees. Then he was a fire burning through the forest. Then he was a tidal wave seething offshore. Now he will not be a metaphor. 93. When Andre the Giant pitched a man over the top rope and out into the crowd, he aimed at the moon. 100. A man never tells a lie, always treats a promise like his mother's name. Andre the Giant once threw a silver dollar across the Potomac, hit a buffalo in the eye, and killed it as it grazed. 116. Andre the Giant drank 3 bottles of whiskey and grappled with the devil in the bingo hall in Memphis. Then he invented the blues. 125. On television, Andre the Giant grinned with a mouth full of shark's teeth. He devoured mortal men 10 at a time, laughed, and spit their bones out our living rooms. 137. Andre the Giant was a Frenchman. Then he became an ogre. Then became a movie star. Now he is the constellations, all of them. And once again, that is by W. Todd Kaneko, Selected Legends of Andre the Giant. A little something for your wrestling fans out there. I'm sure Kate was throwing some facts there in the chat. Yeah. Okay. That was just me stalling. So I think Luis is here. That's the other cool thing. I made a smart move. I'm like, I'm gonna stall, and Luis is here. So I hope you can hear me. Luis, you ready? You wanna do your thing, man? Your beautiful music. Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, take it away when you're ready.
Sorry about that. I think I overslept. Here, I'll do a song by M. Ward and Vicente Fernandez. And I sailed the wild, wild sea, climbed up a tall, tall mountain. I met an old, old man who sat beneath a willow tree. He said, now if you got some questions, won't you lay them at my feet? But my time here is sweet, so you'll have to pick just 3. And I said, what do you do with the pieces of a broken heart? And how can a man like me remain in the light? And if life is really as short as they say, then why are the nights so long? And then the sun came up as he sang me his song. See, I was a young fool like you, afraid to do the things that he knew he had to do. So I played an escapade just like you. Yes, I played an escapade just like you. I sailed the wild, wild sea, climbed up a tall, tall mountain. I met an old, old man who sat beneath the sapling tree. He said, now if you got some questions, won't you lay them at my feet? But my time here is sweet, so you'll have to pick just three. And I said, what do you do with the pieces of a broken heart? And how can a man like me remain in the light? And if life is really as short as they say, then why are the nights so long? And then the sun came up as he sang me his song. And vale más un buen amor que 1000 costales de oro. Vale más un buen amor, por eso eres mi tesoro. Valgo mucho junto a ti y soy muy feliz contigo. Vales mucho para mí, con el corazón te digo, olvidemos el pasado y lo que diga la gente. Lo que importa es que te amo y me amas para siempre. Olvidemos el pasado y vivamos el presente. Lo que importa es que me amas y te amo para siempre. Vale mucho un gran amor que en el perdón ha crecido. O sé que llanto sirvió para reforzar el nido. Olvidemos el pasado y vivamos el presente. Lo que importa es que te amo y me amas para siempre. Olvidemos el pasado y vivamos el presente. Lo que importa es que me amas y te amo para siempre.
Hey, thank you. My name's Luis Camberos, and I always want to say hi to Kit. Hey, Kit. And thank you, Richie, again. And yeah, I just woke up, so sorry about that. Have a good one, guys.
Oh, cool. Appreciate that, man. Let's go. Echo. Always happens. Luis Camberos, everyone. Glad you made it. I made the master move to stall because I felt you were coming. Okay. And good morning, by the way. Also, is there echo? Yeah. Okay. Man, Luis always comes with the smooth tunes. I really never imagined the back-to-back set of M Word and Chente, but here we are, and I gotta make a request for next time. I really like M Ward does a really great cover of Let's Dance, and it's so like the energy behind it, so beautiful. I feel like you can pull it off, but you know, if you're down. But again, thanks for tuning in, guys, to our online open mic. We are here every Monday. If you guys want to join us, we'll be here next week. Again, if you are an EPCC student and you haven't had a chance to yet, go back. You can actually, as soon as we're done, I don't know how quickly, maybe as soon as we're done, as soon as we're done, I always forget, but you can go back and replay stuff. Go through, watch people's performances, and let me know what you liked, write a little something for it. Hopefully more than a couple sentences. That would be nice. But other than that, we're gonna go ahead and call up our closer. Like the Yankees closed out today for the game one win. Ha! Okay, sorry. You may not be a Yankee fan, but I'm excited to see them win game one. We're gonna make a call to the bullpen and bring in the one, the only, our local legend, Mr. Dan the Man. When you're ready, Dan, take it away and take us away.
Okay. I'm gonna make this quick. Yep. Well, I don't know how many cents is worth of candy, but even though the grams are like handy. Yep, the grams comes in handy, full of full of brandy or blandy. Or some girl named Brandy. Oh wait, no, or whiskey, or some whiskey or brandy. Yeah, things come in handy. There's always the grams of candy. Yep, I'm talking about candy grams. Candy gram from Pango. Yeah. Yep. So the gram, yeah. The candy gram is no, it's always be like you're taking the tram off of the full of the lamb. Or green eggs and ham, Sam, I am. We got the candy grams. Okay. Yeah. So, all right. I don't know if I'm going to be at the Mono Bar tomorrow night. So, even if it's the light, hopefully I may have missed the fight night, Saturday night. Yeah. All right. But, okay. Well, yeah, there it is. Okay, guys. Keep following me on Instagram. So, all right. Okay, guys, thank you so much, everybody. I hope to see you guys next Monday. And if what if oh well. Okay. All right, guys, you have a great night. Yep, just keep singing the light. And you have a good night.
All
Okay.
right.
All right, Richie, let's go ahead and call it a night.
All right. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate that. Short and sweet. Check out the vlog, like he says. And Mona Bra. Oh, Mona Bar, not Mona Bra, Sandy. All right, cool. Thanks again to everyone who hung out with us today. I think that concludes our list. But again, we're here on Monday. You can watch the replay, but also while you're here, check out our YouTube channel. We have a bunch of other videos. I do have some newer ones in the works that will be being uploaded pretty soon, including a special new session of our fresh cuts featuring Lee Martinez Soto, whose birthday is also coming up. So that'll be a cool way to celebrate. And follow us online and check out our in-person shows around the city. Hopefully, I'll see you guys, if not at Monobar, at the Fall Staff on Friday for the Chrysalis release party, or Thursday night for the International Jazz and Poetry Night. I will be one of the featured performers. Everyone have a good night. If you want to hang out with us, we always do a little after party, by the way. So peace. Let me go ahead and